organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV, plans to preserve 2 Iowa City cottages as historical landmarks may be just that, history.
And find out why some Iowans could be shut out of the treatment they need due to state budget cuts next.
And in sports, Iowa wrestling closes out their Big Ten season.
We have all that and more coming up.
This is Daily Iowan TV.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Greta Miley.
And I'm Austin Love.
Answers from University of Iowa about the fate of AIB College of Business will have to wait, at least for now. AIB officials in Des Moines sent out a news release last night saying they would postpone a meeting with UI advisors and their students that was supposed to happen this morning. However, AIB officials did say they will return deposits to about 170 students who were accepted for the upcoming fall 2015 semester. These acceptances came before AIB announced they would gift the UI with their 20-acre campus. It is unclear, though, how much money will be returned to the students.
The preservation of historical buildings in Iowa City is an important issue for many residents, but now several historical cottages are facing the possibility of destruction. Kramer Anderson has the story.
If you take a walk around Iowa City, you are bound to run into many historic buildings, some of which date back over 100 years. The Purcell School of Music, for example, was built in the year 1900 and is now considered a historic landmark. A favorite place for many Iowa City residents, Hamburg Inn was first opened in 1948 and is still serving food to this day. Iowa City shares a great history that extends back to 1839 and has been good at preserving its history by also preserving its buildings. But in the past few months, there has been strong debate regarding the preservation of several cottages in town. The issue began when the landowner of 3 cottages on South Dubuque Street sought to develop the land, which would mean destroying the cottages. Upon hearing the news, the City Planning Office and the Friends of Historical Preservation elected to add the cottages to the National Register of Historic Places. State Historical Society worker Mary Bennett is one of many people that want the cottages preserved, and she explained to me why.
So we were looking at the rarity. We were looking at the fact that they reflect working class lives rather than some high fancy Victorian mansion somewhere or a major public building like Old Capitol. They were about ordinary people, and we thought that was an important component of our city's history to preserve.
Despite being labeled as historically significant by the State Historical Society, the Iowa City Council voted on Monday to deny historic landmark status for the cottages. Because of this, the cottages will most likely be torn down. Iowa City has many historical districts that have many old buildings in them. From the grand Victorian mansions that line the Summit Street Historical District to Polly Ice Pizza, which used to be an apartment building, Iowa City has a well-preserved history that many people would like to keep. Kramer Anderson reporting from Iowa City.
While the Dubuque cottages could be coming down, Iowa gas prices might be climbing up. On Tuesday, bills that may make filling up your tank more expensive were introduced in the Iowa House and Senate. The bill would raise gas and diesel taxes by 10 cents and will advance through House subcommittees today. Supporters of the bill say the increase would help fund road and bridge construction around the state. The proposed gas tax hike will receive final floor votes by the end of this month.
Another hot button issue moving through the state is the future of the 4 existing mental institutions in Iowa. Reporter Mitch McAndrews is in the newsroom to give us the details about the opposition to cutting the 4 facilities down to 2.
That's right, guys, and as the public conscience turns more and more to mental health issues, some say that Iowa is taking a step backwards on the topic. Governor Branstad's new 2016 budget plan, unveiled last month, would cease funding 2 of Iowa's 4 existing mental health institutions. According to the plan, facilities in Mount Pleasant and Clarinda would not receive funding after July 1st. Branstad said the cuts would save the state about $10 million annually. Officials from the Department of Health and Human Services say the money could be used to fortify the quality of care at the state's remaining 2 institutions in Cherokee and Independence. Some legislators and Iowans argue that cutting half of the state's available mental health care is too drastic, especially considering that the 4 mental health institutions are already crowded as is. But while the 2016 budget plan has brought new fire to the debate, mental health care quality in Iowa is by no means a new issue. Currently, Iowa sits at 49th in the nation for psychiatrists per capita, with 232 in a state of about 3 million people.
Folks are being turned away because, in part, there's not the psychiatric services staff to provide those individuals.
Officials say that mental health care faces a unique set of obstacles, particularly that it is viewed differently than other forms of health care.
If these were folks with diagnosis of leukemia, if these were folks with diagnosis of breast cancer, we wouldn't be doing this with them.
Be sure to stick with the Daily Iowan as this story develops. Back to you guys at the desk.
It was very cold for a lot of students walking on campus today, and I hear it's not going to let up.
Yeah, I hope it does soon, but let's toss it over to Katie Stites standing by in the weather studio to get a look at the rest of the week. Katie?
Thanks, guys. I actually got brain freeze just being outside in the cold for 10 minutes today. But the good news is tomorrow won't be quite as bad. Tomorrow morning will be in the upper teens with upper 20s in the afternoon and the evening temps dropping just a little to the mid-20s. And we may get a little snow tomorrow evening or overnight, but it should be under an inch of accumulation. This Saturday will be a cold one similar to today, with highs in the mid-teens and overnight temps getting very cold, dropping into the negatives. So it'll be a perfect night to cuddle up with a Valentine or just an extra blanket if that's more your style. But stay indoors if you can, and please bundle up if you're out and about. That chill will last throughout the weekend and into next week.
And if you're looking for something to do this weekend for Valentine's Day, Megan Sanchez has some ideas of where you could go in this week's Arts and Entertainment. Megan?
Thanks, guys. There's been a lot of action on the stages of Iowa City this week, so let's get to it. The University of Iowa's 10-Minute Play Festival starts tomorrow night with a showing at 8 p.m. This annual event includes 6 undergraduate playwrights' work. Tickets are just $5 for students, and performances will be held tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And on the main stage this week is Good Kids, a play that tackles the tough topic of sexual assault. This show dives into the ins and outs of social media and its effect on today's teenagers. Viewers should be warned that there is graphic discussion of sexual violence, so beware before you go to see it. Tickets again are $5 for that show. That's the latest in this week's Arts and Entertainment news. Austin and Greta, back to you.
So Austin, I heard you were looking for a Valentine's Day date. How's that going?
Greta, it's a work in progress right now, but for now, just check out the video. Hi, I'm Austin Love, and as you know, this Saturday is Valentine's Day, and guess what? I need a date. So I got my student on. I'm going around asking students for advice. So how do I know if someone likes me?
They tell you.
Straight up.
Straight up.
It's never happened to me before. Got this fun dip, Valentine's Day. Would you like to be my Valentine?
I'd love to.
Oh, thanks. So what's your best Valentine's Day experience you've ever had?
I haven't had that many. I haven't had a date on many.
Do you mind if I tie your shoe? Because I just can't have you falling for anyone else.
That was a good one.
You're a lady killer.
I am.
Welcome. Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk away again? Think that'll work? You think that'll work?
No.
No, you don't think so. All right. Then I'll just walk away permanently then.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day. Love, Austin. I should have that. XOXO. Yeah, anytime. Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay. Well, I didn't find true love, but I got some excellent advice. I'm Austin Love, and on behalf of everyone at Daily Iowan TV, have a happy Valentine's Day.
Well, Austin, if you find a date, you can take them to the Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Yeah, Greta, there's a lot of action going on this weekend, especially if I find a date. We'll toss it over to Chelsea Brown and Laura Belanda standing by in the sports studio for our Thursday Mad Side preview.
Thanks, guys, and welcome back to Thursday night's edition of Daily Iowan TV Mat Side.
Iowa wrestling had a nail-biter on Sunday against Big Ten rival Penn State, but the Hawks were able to get the win 18-12. Wrestling reporter Zach Mackey broke down the Iowa offense from that meet.
The Iowa Hawkeyes under head coach Tom Brandt preach a style of wrestling nicknamed the Iowa Way, a type of wrestling that involves high-tempo offense that does not see very many stalling calls coming their way. This offensive wrestling was adamant when the Hawkeyes traveled to Penn State. Thomas Gilman always does a great job at starting the Hawkeyes off right. Right there, he throws down the hands of the Penn State wrestler, circles around the body, and gets his two. His quickness is what propels these Hawkeyes. Now it's Josh Jeffa's turn. He has the foot up in the air and has to finish to get the takedown. There he does. Let's rewatch that in a little slower motion. Watch Jeffa's right leg wrap around, and it brings the Penn State wrestler down to the mat. Jeva covers for two. The red-shirted freshman Brandon Sorensen's been a highlight for the Hawks as he throws down the hands of Zach Beats, finishes the shot, and gets his two. Sammy Brooks here is sprawled back, but while he's in a defensive position, he's always looking to score. Watch him grab the legs there and climb the body to get his two. Let's rewatch that. Again, in the defensive position, turns around, gets a takedown, and comes out victorious 7-1. Coach Tom Brands talked about the team's takedowns and his Hawkeyes' offensive mentality.
4 third period takedowns and how many second period at the end of the second period takedowns. And then back points, those are situations where that's not by accident. That's coach, that's strategy, and that's their awareness of the clock and our lack of awareness of what our opponent is trying to do to us.
This offensive mentality has propelled the Hawkeyes to a 13-0 start. Zach Mackey, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Hawkeyes offense will have some tough tasks coming up as the postseason is right around the corner.
Before postseason begins, Iowa has one more Big Ten opponent on their plate before the team Michigan is seen as more of a stepping stone along their journey to placing the feather in their hat. With two duels starting on Friday, similar to Maryland and Penn State the previous weekend, head coach Tom Brands has his focus right on the first matchup and the last Big Ten dual meet of the season against the number 16th ranked Michigan Wolverines.
I think they're coming to do some damage. They have a heated rivalry with us in their mind. And if you look at the lineups they put out last time out, they seem to be gearing for us.
Some key matchups include number 6 ranked Corey Clark against number 9 Rossi Bruno. Both of them face similar losses on their record with Zane Richards, Chris Dardanes, and both coming off a loss against Penn State's Jimmy Gulabon. Iowa's number 16 ranked Michael Kelly and number 10 Brian Murphy will go head-to-head in a tough end of the season for Kelly. With the loss against Minnesota and Maryland, Kelly is in the hot seat coming off a tough win against Penn State. Pretty evenly matched at the 165 with the 9 and 10 spots, but there will be added pressure for senior Nick Moore for a win in Carver on senior night. And at 197, number 6 Nathan Burak against Michigan's number 8 senior Max Huntley. Burak will be looking for revenge coming off of 2 consecutive losses. For the team as a whole, they have their eyes set on something more in the future.
We got a team that can run the table and win everything out there, and that's something that we come here to do. We don't come here to get a share of the Big Ten title. We come here to win everything outright.
A win against the Wolverines could give Iowa the outright Big Ten regular season dual championship and Tom Brands his 160th dual victory at Iowa.
Now also this weekend, number 13 Virginia heads to Carver to begin the Cliff Key National Duels. Iowa has won the only meeting between the schools 26-12. 2 key matchups to look for is the 165 and 174-pound weight class.
Iowa's 9th ranked Moore is matched up against the Cavaliers' number 4 ranked Nick Solzer. Last time the Hawkeyes saw Virginia, Solzer was when Mike Evans won against him in a 7-4 victory. And speaking of Evans, he has a tough matchup at the 174-pound weight class against the number 6 ranked Blaze Butler. Butler only has 2 losses this season.
Virginia will kick off the Cliff Keen duels here in Iowa City, but only 8 teams will make it to the final trip. Let's take a look at who could possibly face off against the Hawkeyes. 10 of the 16 teams in the division are ranked in the top 15 according to the NWCA Division I Wrestling Coaches Poll.
Among the teams, Iowa, Missouri, Ohio State, Minnesota, and Cornell claim the top 6 ranked teams. And Lehigh, Illinois, and Virginia claim the 11 to 13 spots, and Edinboro ranks 15th, followed by number 23 ranked North Dakota State. So a lot of competition will be at this meet, Laura, and an opportunity for a team championship will be up for grabs for the Hawkeyes.
And how great would it be for the team to claim it in Iowa City? That's all the time we have on tonight's program. Be sure to tune in on Sunday night for the recap from this weekend's wrestling meets.
As well as we'll have all your Hawkeye Hoops action from this weekend. Greta and Austin, back to you guys right after this.
Can't pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan? Are you worried about how you're going to find out about the latest news in Iowa City and the University of Iowa? You can always find current and past Daily Iowan stories at dailyiowan.com. If it happens, it's news to us.
And before we go, we have some special guests in the studio tonight.
We have the men of the music fraternity Phi Mu Alpha here, and they're going around serenading people of Iowa City during Valentine's Day weekend.
And they want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day.
A serenade to a girl at evening, the one we love and always will adore. Our voices raised in singing.
Well, that'll do it for us here at Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for watching and have a great Valentine's Day weekend.
To the sweetheart